industry where I've like 3-bet and jack 3 off. I'm 5-bet, sorry. And he's called, and it's come like king 6 deuce. And he's checked and I bet and he's folded. And I've shown it for some reason, which I never ever do. And I'm just looking back now, just thinking, there was just so many hands like that where I was just like, well, let's just try and win it or not. And obviously, so lucky to actually go on and chop it and things. Yeah. And the final table was just loads and loads of fun.
Well, it was also famous for a rowdy rail.
Super rowdy rail. There was obviously the hand where John Joanne just folded kings pre, which would have basically knocked me out if I'd not hit an ace. I had ace king suited. I think it was 7 or 8 left. Yeah. It's gone like open 3-bet, 4-bet from the small blind. I ended up jamming because we'd basically just been for dinner, and he was basically saying something along the lines of, "There's 3 short stacks. The money jumps are big. Yeah, we kind of don't need to get involved." And so from that, I kind of took it as, right, you're not going to want to kind of get in some huge kind of confrontation pre-flop. And so I was pretty confident he'd fold queens pre. I would obviously never have done it if I knew he had kings, because no one folds kings pre. He ended up folding, and we basically did the deal 3-handed, which was obviously life-changing. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really feel much pressure because I just had this mentality of like, I don't really care. And it was a really strange tournament, to be honest. And I really kind of wish now I played every tournament like that, because it was almost just like no fear. Do you know what I mean? You just didn't really care what was. Yeah.
And you're doing a deal for 7 figures, and you get one guy to pick to negotiate just to make sure he's got the right deal. And somebody walks on stage with 2 bottles of beer in his hand, and he's like, "Yeah, well, it's only 7 figures." Yeah.
Because it was either Fraser Mack, who was very notorious at the time for doing every deal, wasn't he? He was always there, kind of, or it was Feraldo, who I kind of knew but didn't know as well as I know him now. And I remember Toby Stone came up and he said, "You're only allowed 1 person to come in up and kind of helping you." And Fraz Mack was like, "Right, yeah, it's me, it's me." And I was going, "Feraldo, I'll take you," which was probably a mistake, because Feraldo was half cut, wearing a hat, holding beers, as you say. But actually, he was really good, because you basically only get a couple of minutes. Yeah, I was completely lost in like the whole what was going on. And he was very just like, you need to do this, this, and this. You shouldn't do this. And he basically gave me some really good advice, actually. And yeah, from there onwards, I think I said something along the lines of, "Well, we don't have to deal. I don't care about the money," which is a complete lie. I was desperate for a deal. I just literally wanted to do it. And I was like, "Oh, well, if you guys want to do a deal, up to you. I'm not bothered about the money. Just trying to get more money out of it, obviously." And then as soon as it was done, I was like, right, this is the greatest thing ever. I can just do whatever. But yeah.
Obviously went straight to bed afterwards.
Again, that was an absolute. I'll actually tell you something as well. We basically went out afterwards, and I basically got mugged. Well, not mugged. I basically got robbed, because I actually had no money on me. I basically won all this money, and we basically had organised, this kind of massive thing afterwards that cost loads of money, and I didn't have any money. So I went round almost every person that was there and asked them for money, just like a massive pigeon, just like, if you got 500, if you got 200. And after an hour and a half, I'd collected something like, I don't know, it was like 10 or 15,000 euros in cash. And I basically put the euros in my pocket. And obviously around there in Barcelona, on those beaches, and stuff, everyone's watching. Within 5 minutes, Phil, that had been swiped. So when the bill came, it was like, you need to pay. I had no money, so I had to then go round again. I had to ask everyone for a second time, and everyone's going, "Well, I've just paid you 1,000. What's going on? You basically just won this million." So yeah, it was like the best time to ever be robbed, because you didn't care, because you kind of cashed all this money. But yeah, I basically got done for about 15 grand.
Wow. And on that note, we'll be back with Mr. Steve Warburton and more stories very shortly. Welcome back to Mr. Steve Warburton and an hour with the Tower. Huge 2015 that that we were talking about before. Absolutely huge. 2016, did you slow down? Did you play more cash? Was it a case of I'm not travelling around too much?
It's so hard to think when like 2016 was in terms of what was happening. I'm pretty sure I was still playing, as in like tournaments and things. But now, kind of looking back, you kind of have these purple patches, don't you? There are so many players that they'll have a cash, and then you'll see them cash again and again and again, and then for like the next 12 months, they just kind of don't. And I don't know. I don't know if it's confidence or what just happens. But yeah, I was still playing in 2016 quite a bit, and obviously not having the cashes I was having the previous year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know as well. I never really got carried away with tournaments. I was never really one to play 60 events of the World Series or every single DPT and stuff. I was always quite kind of level-headed. And
the one of them you do like, as we can see, GUKPT Manchester. You've got so many entries in the database: 2018 to 14, 2020 for 20th. You got so many cashing 3 of the last 4 years. It has to be the favourite stop. I know it's your local one, it's your home one, but is it classed as your favourite stop?
It's the favourite stop because it makes up for all the other GUKPTs that I'm just doing my money in. You know, I can't go to Luton or Walsall or Bolton and just do 4 or 5 buy-ins.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like with Manchester, I'm always trying that little bit harder because home stop, most players, the kind of great camaraderie of people. So that's always fun. But yeah, I mean, I've no idea if I don't know. I think I'm probably slightly up on GUKPTs because of that.
Yeah.
Sort of shop with Deadman and thingy, but I've put a lot of money into them, don't you? Don't you worry about that. Yeah.
Norwegian Championships came to Britain, and they started being played around the country. You had three tournaments where you cashed for well over 60,000. I heard they used to be crazy. I heard the cash tables used to be mad as well. Was that one of the reasons why you played them?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the absolute best stop on the calendar every year is the Irish Open. It's getting better and better. I think it's going to be the biggest it's ever going to be next year.
Yeah.
I basically booked my flights in January this year for it. Obviously, it got cancelled because of everything that's going on. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they were having 60 or 70 cash game tables every single night.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just crazy. You just don't see that anymore. And yeah, again, it's a little bit like what I was saying in the 2015 WPT in Amsterdam. Everyone's just on the same wavelength. You know, everyone's chatting away, and do you know what I mean? It's kind of how poker should be. You know, there's tanking, no one's dressed silly, there's no about talking, trying to, you know, like piss people off and stuff. It's just kind of nice, fun poker, and yeah, it was a good one, yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Your strangest ever Hendon Mob entry. Blackpool Tuesday nights, free run. 60 entries, you finished 7th for 40 quid. And it ended up being on the Hendon Mob. That's please explain what happened. Why is it there?
I think I maybe need to blame PK for researching this, don't I? I don't really know how that's on. I think that's 15 entry or something.
I'll just check up on Steve Warburton so we can have a nice chat while we're all in lockdown and we've not had a haircut for 3 months. And we get it was a free roll on a Tuesday night and there was 60 runs.
Times were tough, Tower. Times were tough. That 1.8 million you were talking about before had gone. I had nothing left.
Oh, brilliant.
I remember what happened. We basically gone to Blackpool to watch I don't know if we're watching the darts or a footy.
Oh, right, okay. And
what we did, we all rang Dina, and we made Dina extend the late reg, just so we could get to this thing. And it was one of those classic ones where you basically want to bus quite soon so you can go to the bar and just have a few drinks. But I ended up final table in it. Yeah, ridiculous.
The UK Poker Championships in 2018, the High Roller. Your final table, you finished 8th for 7,000. That wasn't the story. The story was Mr. Jake. The story was Mr. Jake Cody and the viral video that you were involved in and crazy scenes. How did that all come about?
How long have we got?
Well, is it really that long?
The short version, what I remember is we'd all been out the night before, and I mean we'd all been out to the point of in day 2 of this tournament, there was 5 or 6 people who hadn't arrived. You know, Jake for one, not mention names for other people, but Ludo and all the Scottish boys.
Yeah.
And with about, 50 people left, I remember Jake saying, if I win this tournament, it'll be so unjust that I'll put it all on black. And Ludo was on the rail, and Ludo heard this, and he never shut up about it from 50 all the way.
Well, we had an elongated break. I thought it was only 15, it wasn't. It was 20. They didn't tell us these things, they don't tell us anymore. They just shoved in a corner, forgot about. The table behind us wanted to know why I'm going to Vegas. Because they could hear us laughing and joking and shouting, but they wanted to know why.
Did you tell them why?
I explained it. I explained the ace forehand, and then it all come brig, no, and thought no. But hey, right, we're off. We're back. We're off. We are back. We didn't get the full names, but we will give them to you when we get them.
Got some table this.
Yes. See if we can quickly find out. Good lad. Stato, Andy Hume is in the building. Stato.
Right, we've got some names here. There's a lot of notes. This is a good table, Tower.
Oh, we got. Come on then.
Good table.
Was that Jamie Nixon in one?
Jamie Nixon in 1. Zong Ming Lao in 4. Ryan Mandara in 5. Connor Healis in 6. Mitch Hynam in 7. Russell Houseworth in 8. And 9 is Stato, Andy Hume.
Didn't Mitch Hynam final table this week?
No, he was 12th, I think, in the mini. Let's have a look. We got it there still.
Where is it?
We'll quickly pop it up. He was 12th. Yeah, he was 12th.
Well, nice shout.
Joe busted him.
You?
Yep.
Good lad. Good lad.
Wow. Look at this for a first-hand tower. Wow, wow, wow. Ryan flopping the flush and Jamie flopping a top and bottom here after Ryan opened the Queen 8 suited. And this is going to be fireworks. It's like against the +1 opening range of Ryan. Only real hand we're worried about is Jamie is flop flushes and pocket threes maybe in there as well. So Jamie going to come straight in for a raise here. I like this protection purposes. Obviously one of the deny equities is some of Ryan's ace-x of spades. hand like ace king with the ace of spades, ace queen with a spade, these type of holdings want to deny equity to these, but unfortunately for us, Ryan's flopped the joint here with the queen 8, and Ryan will be aware that Jamie may choose to represent this board a lot of the time, and Jamie's going to call with a 2 pair, Ryan with the flush, and it could be a great start on the feature table back in the day for Ryan Mandara, just fading 6s and deuces. What cooler flop this is.
Absolutely. Seven of hearts on the turn. Ryan Mandara needs to fade a 6 and a 2. And does.
So Ryan cold decking Jamie right at the start. Oh, look at it. It's just got even tougher, Tower.
Who's that?
Tom Hall.
Tom Hall, amazing.
This is a day one table, by the way, if you are just tuning in. It's going to be a good little watch the last session of the day.
You don't think these chairs are too big? Why do you not like that chair?
I don't know. Maybe it's got a squeaky wheel.
I have no idea. I don't know why he's just swapped seats 2 and 3 around, but obviously it's not set up right for his back. Anyway.
So just before the break as well, we lost Matt Bushell and Thomas Erentz, and Russell Houseworth has just bust as well. First hand back after the break on one of the outer tables. So Connor with a Queen 10 raises to 1.8, and Tom Hall just come to the table, ace 10 of spades here in the big blind. He's not going to be going anywhere here. Played a lot with Connor on day 2 of the mini as well, seemed to play very well. Unaware of who he was until this week, but seems to play good poker.
Nice one.
Both players flopping middle pair. This is a good check behind, as he snap checks behind. He must have done. The dealer taps the table and deals the turn, but like the decision to check here with the Queen 10 from Connor, especially with the Queen of clubs in there as well. Now Tom going to come in for a bet, and this is the reason we check back flop. We can comfortably call this turn better. Tom Hall in position. Take some rivers. 2 more levels to go, Anna.
Evening, Anna. Watching on Facebook. Yep, 2 more levels. Finish at bang on 12:30.
And Connor gets there on the river, finds the Queen, giving him a better 2 pair than Tom. And Tom probably going to be checking this spot tower almost always. Very difficult to ever get value from worse. No need to turn our 10 into a bluff. There are still a few hands out there that we beat. And same scenario for Connor. It's hard for us to get called by worse. So going to check behind, and he's going to take it down with the Queen 10. Finds the Queen on the river.
So the final session is upon us. 2 more levels to play. Finish the live stream around about 12:30.
Zongming with the 10-8 suited. Going to be calling this one. Oh.
Seat for Gareth Jones on 1-2 Holden. Seat for Gareth Jones, 1-2 Holden. Thank you.
It's interesting flop, both Mitch and Zongming catching a piece. Zongming with top pair, Mitch with middle pair, top kicker, backdoor nut flush draw. 5 of diamonds on the turn. Mitch does now have a wheel draw to go with his pair. Snap checks his one behind.
Hi. Yes, nice one, Vicky. Sorry about that. Apologies. Yeah, I do. We did mention about refreshing and restarting. We thought it was done at the last break. Didn't realise it wasn't done at the last break. It had to be done at this break. How's it going on in the cash out? We've not heard any screams and shouts yet. Hopefully get some during this session before we finish. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cash tables going at this moment in time. 151 in the satellite. 18,800 collected. Very nice. And 135 playing today. Tomorrow will be mental. Stado raises to 1.8 with Ace King, with the blinds at 4-8.
Gentlemen John Mann and Carl Collins, please make the ballroom receipt in the satellite. That's John Mann and Carl Collins.
King high flop as well. King Jack 7. Tom hits second pair. 3 diamonds on the turn after a bet and a call by Tom. Stato bets on the turn and gets the fold. So 80,100 bigs for Connor. as chip leader on the table. Last session of the evening. Final 30-30s, as you can see, Leeds, Luton, Bolton and Edinburgh. We're looking forward to getting the facts and figures regarding the NPL because they are the last events of the NPL. Leeds, Luton, Bolton and Edinburgh next weekend, and we'll have more information regarding the 25-25s that are coming up before the end of the season, and the 25-25s incorporated in the events next year on the NPL, as well as deep stacks, as well as G400s, which are the new names for the 30-30s. Hey B-Deg, watching on Twitch. Yeah, nice one, Chris. You're on back with us after the refresh. We normally do it at the dinner, but slight delay today, but we've done it now. So you're all coming back with us for the final session. Number of entries 135, and we finish at 12:30.
Associated with what happened. Now you've reminded me.
So 135 tomorrow. We're expecting near 300 by the end of the day. I think 300 is a feasible number to get to tomorrow. We're so busy in here, which is why the only event tomorrow night is the Turbo. Numbers have been amazing this year. We're expecting a busy one tomorrow, as always. 135 still good. 150 in the satellite, which will have nearly 15 seats. And Wooly Back's on his way. Wooly Back will be on his way to play the main. So if 5 seats are guaranteed at 6,250, you times that by 3, you get 18,750. Is that right? 6,250 times 3, 18,750. That means at this moment in time we have 15 seats in the satellite. Because collected we've got 19,625. Amazing. 15 seats. Just shows you how popular these satellites are. 15 seats, bish bash bosh.
Pretty good. It was good for a 5. There was 12 left in a 5. But that's like huge. When you said that, I actually thought you were talking the other way around because I called you with 4 left in one of these.
Oh yeah, not that. That's not even. That was probably less bad than this one.
I reckon I've been pretty lucky.
The satellite were, yeah, £130 buying. Yeah, 125 plus £5 juice, so £125 in, 157 entries. 5 seats guaranteed, and it's taken 15 seats. It is amazing. The numbers carry on in Blackpool.
Gentlemen, Michael Boyle and Adrian Burns on the way to the 1-3 cash game. Please take your quick best.
So just running down the satellites, it's been pretty impressive, the numbers. Pretty impressive.
To be honest, I didn't win much off it. We played a couple of parts on
How many bullets?
18 2, yeah. Played for a long time.
Better than 6. Are all good at 2 so far. They're all good at balls. They're not good at
So the final 2 levels are upon us. Jay's on his way back after his supper very shortly. Connor in seat number 6 raises to 1.8. Mitch with King Queen gets his 10k in the middle. And he's getting the call. Mitch sees the bad news. The court's on. Looks like he's expecting cold weather in Blackpool with that coat. That is one hell of a puffer jacket. Needs to find a king. And there's only 2 of them in the deck as we can see. And he fails. Eliminated.
The open feature.
Just hang around the rail until there's one seat open. Just take inevitably they're all open.
I know.
So King Queen no good against the Queens. Aye, aye. The old Chelsea fan back with us. Hiya John, some years ago I listened to an interview with Tony TK Campbell. He said that Blackpool's the real poker town and that if you can hold your own on the local scene, you can hold your own anywhere. I think it's because it's that busy. The festival has always had that festival feel, hasn't it? And I know 2021 has been totally different. We're in lockdown for 16 months, nobody did anything. People had to play online poker or nothing at all. And eventually, when the live casinos started to open, then once the GUKPT came out of lockdown, everybody started to play everything. But it's been every event. Every single event this year has had the numbers. People have stayed in the same town all week. They've not gone home. It's back to 2009, 2008, 2007, where everybody did everything all the time. So yeah, the feel has been excellent of the festival, and we always know Blackpool people turn up for the full week. They have the trips to the local pubs. We all talk about Mark Kelly's and stuff like that, but it's always busy. And they come here to play poker, but they come here to have a good time as well. And that's what the 2021 GUKPT has been all about. Coming out of lockdown, coming out of what was a tough year. And yeah, people are still wary of what's happening regarding the health and the pandemic. But we're getting there. And 2021, in my eyes, has been the biggest and the best by a country mile. And if you can win an event in Blackpool this week, when there's 835 runners in the mini, and there's 200 players for the first time ever in the Omaha, and there's 400 runners in the 30-30, and there's going to be an £500,000 prize pool in the main event, then you know you can play poker, and you know you can hold your own. So definitely, absolutely, definitely, if you can play poker and come out with a victory in Blackpool, you certainly know you played the game.
Open 18-5.
So Ryan and Jamie check the river. Yeah, we have day 1B tomorrow, starting at 12 in the club, 12:30 on the live stream, and then day 1C is the turbo starting at 9 PM, which finishes around about 1 AM. And then if you fancy flicking it into day 2, you can actually buy into day 2 before the start of play, so before 11:45 in the club. On average between 10 and 20 people do that. And then day 2 will begin in earnest, and we play down the full 10 levels and try and get in the money. So day 2 will be Saturday at 12 on the 12 o'clock live, 12:30 on the live stream, and then play down to day 3. And don't forget day 3, Grosvenor Sports open a book for the players remaining, and you can have a little flutter. Good man. Here comes the water boy.
I'm going to sleep well later after that.
Nice supper.
Yeah.
The Manchester Derby at 12:30 on Saturday. Well, there you go. Didn't know that. But apparently it is. Should be busy in the sports bar area around here then, watching the match, as well as playing day 2.
Stowe limping 7s under the gun. And Drayton are working with 20 big blinds here. Maybe wary of Stowe's limp.
Cut off for buying into the satellite is in 15 minutes time. I'll give you the numbers of the satellites, but there's over 15 seats. Ali Campbell's #1 fan. Love it. Bit of UB40. Watching Ryan's mum. Sign seat 5. Is that Ryan's mum?
I think so.
Bit of UB40. Red wine.
Do you drink wine, Tao? I've never seen you touch wine.
Red.
Red.
My favourite white's a Sancerre. I don't drink white very often, but if I'm going to treat myself, it'd be a bottle of Sancerre, white wine. Other than that, a nice bottle of Australian red.
So Ryan opening card with the King 10. And Majid just opts to flat the Ace Queen in the small. Can definitely incorporate this one into a free bet as well. Stato got a nice hand to defend.
Four 7/8's the flop.
I don't think Ryan's going to be c-betting this one too often. Tower with Ace Queen, like the check behind from him. Probably would have worked against these two holdings, but now Majid, after just flattening the Ace Queen, looks like he's going to come in for a lead here on this 9 turn. Opts for 3.2 into 6.2, so just north of half. And Ryan here up and down straight draw, 2 overcards to the board. With position as well. Expect him to just be cool in this spot after facing the lead from Majid. Majid can plausibly have plenty of sets here. All the sets just flatten in the small. Some 9-8 suited, 7-8 suited, those type of holdings in there as well. 8 of clubs on the river. So Majid gets the check mark. Looks like he's going to bluff with the best of it here. Does have the Ace of Clubs in there. Removal to some of Ryan's flush draws that he would call with on the turn. And Ryan hasn't snap folded here, Tower. We obviously can't call with King High, but there's the fold. I was expecting the snap before, but I thought he might have been thinking about the old raise with that particular holding, but when our opponent's got all the sets, he's got boats there, Jack 10 as well, which is the turn straight.
Can you give a shout out to Carl Ego from Hartlepool? He loves poker. I'm sure Carl Eglantine used to play. And are we related to Michael, who bust out earlier on? Michael Eglantine bust out. We've not done the old walk of shame for quite a while, have we? Russell Aylesworth, Chris Cox, Kevin Greenoff, Josh Musson bust out. Ben Teague has bust out. Spuddy, Chris Flint has also gone. Mitch Heinemer we saw. And Anthony Miles bust out as well.
It's stupidity.
Of course, the better they go, I see. Well, Michael bust out, unfortunately. 136 playing.
Yeah, as soon as they get 100 kilo on the way you call for, they get a seat. If it's close, obviously have a look and bring it down, but if you can tell it's not.
Alright, it's all making sense now, Nathan. So the final session of the day. We will give you the complete rundown of the satellite numbers in about half an hour's time when they come back from the break, and let us know exactly how many seats they are playing for and if there's any money for the place before the bubble.
Thankfully the blinds go at 20 minutes after the break, not half an hour blind.
Hi, Slugs Virtual Mini Disco. How are we doing, pal? Yeah, great table. Stato and Ryan going to do battle in this hand as well.
Ryan won't be able to pull a free bet versus this particular stack size with this holding. So unless someone wakes up within the blinds, that should be it for Stato. Pot should be going his way. Well, it looks like Tom Hall has a decision here, Tower. Tom not one to tank meaninglessly, but raise 3 suited. Yeah. And Ryan makes a quick fold with a Jack 10.
No, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you. That's a first for all of us to say no.
I know.
I think that's a first.
We've just been offered ice cream. We all said no. I've not eaten since 4 minutes past 11.
Hippie chick wants some.
Yeah, I know. We all said no.
If any players are wishing to register into this evening's satellite entries will be closing in 7 minutes.
PK's trying to get in football shape. Me and Jay's got no excuse. Yeah. Surprised not run to work this morning. It's only a quick run around the block. like running around the Rico. Did that once. Quick run around the Rico. It's about 4.5 miles.
Cheers, DJ Slugs. The ace-8 for Majid in the hijack raises to 1.8, and Drayton here got a lovely spot to shove. Shoves for just sub 20 bigs. Quick fold from Majid.
No, that's not Ming Gamble. Ming Gamble. Ming Gamble. That's not Ming Gamble from Blackpool. That is not the Ming. So I've been told a proper bottle of red apparently is the Rioja Grand Reserva. So there you go. Might have to be a check on the old Vivino app to see how good it is. 2-5 PLO, you interested?
I'm off.
Yeah, Russ Aylesworth was eliminated. Chelsea fan.
They had a 10, 20, 40 last night. PLO.
10, 20, 40. Well, 10, 20, 40.
Man in seat 5 was playing. He said the game was very, very good when I spoke to him earlier. It's just been the way on these tours, cash games, whatever the format have been very, very good.
Yep. Not seen Ming for a while. If you're local to Blackpool, you'll know who we are talking about.
Didn't he hero off it in Leeds for absolute?
That might be not the Ming from Blackpool.
Oh, okay.
Ming from Blackpool, no. Josh Musson was eliminated in the last session. I don't know if he's re-entered today or he will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure yet.
So about 3k here from Tom with bottom pair, and Zongming just going to flat like this from him. Tom opening button, he's going to whole host here, keep a lot of his bluffs in. We've absolutely smashed this flop. Well, it's one of them situations where like Tom's perceived to have more of the hand that we have. Like out of the big blind, we're just going to have a whole host of defends, and Tom can potentially represent this board on certain runouts, and we can just cool down. But Tom does have showdown, an interesting river. Tom river in 2-pair, and Zongming with top 2-pair. So I'd be very surprised if Tom got away from this here, Tao. It's a bit of a cold river, and Zongming actually comes in for a check here, and Tom's got a value bet here. He has to value bet. Like you expect Zongming to be leading all his 2-pair plus, so if we're Tom here, we can get called by some King X suited, some Jack X that don't believe us. But Zongming's just put in a well-timed check here with the King Jack. It's a really, really nice check from him, and interesting spot. It's not folding tower, he's thinking whether he wants to raise or not. And I'd actually really like a raise here on this particular run out. Like when the turn comes a club, it goes check check. Like Tom here, like his king 10, his ace queen, sorry, his pocket 10s, hands that are ahead of us on the turn. Like they're going to continue firing here. So if I'm Zongming, I'm probably going to raise this one for value. Button versus big blind. Yeah, this is nice from him. Not afraid of the flush nor the straight. And just the way the hand's played just deciphers that his King Jack's going to be the best hand here almost always. And this is a really lovely value shove from him. Some opponents may be a bit scared to come in for the raise, but this is really nice from Zongming.
For account.
And now, what bluffs can we find? Because Zongming isn't going to shove a hand like, let's say he defended 10-4 suited, like, which he can do in the big blind. Like, he's never going to shove a worse hand for value here. So Tom's 2-pair turns into a stone cold bluff catcher here, and what Tom's got to ask himself is this opponent actually capable of check raise ripping as a bluff for his tournament life? Can he turn a queen 10 with a queen of clubs into a bluff? Can he turn a queen jack with a queen of clubs into a bluff? Is he good enough to do that? Because if Tom comes to that conclusion that he is, he might find the call. But I always talk about these river spots and how they're so under bluffed in live poker. Not enough people bluff them. It's just very rare when you see this sort of move that Zongming will rock over a queen 10 with the queen of clubs or a queen jack with the queen of clubs. It's just very, very unlikely. Even an ace 10 with the ace of clubs would be a great bluff here from Zongming. So these are the bluffs that are going to be running through Tom Hall's head. All these hands that we just mentioned, a hand that blocks the straight, blocks the flush, and has a pair in them as well. So if Tom thinks that Zongming's going to have enough of these here as bluffs, he will make the call, and he comes to the decision. And that's really, really nice play from Zongming, and that check on the river has got him the full double up, because if he leads, Tom's just going to flat the 10-8. There's no merit in him raising, and played to perfection there from the man in seat 4, and can't fault Tom either for calling with the 10-8. He must have come to the conclusion that Zongming has those bluffs in his range that we just spoke about.
Final session of the day, about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes left of the day.
Well, Chelsea fan, all it comes down to really, those sort of river spots, like against an opponent that you're aware just has never got a bluff in that spot, you can fold. But Tom has to have come to the conclusion that Zongming is capable. He has to have come to that conclusion that Zongming is capable of turning like a queen jack with a club, or a queen 10 with a club, or ace 10 with a club into a bluff there. So that's the reason I think why we would have seen Tom Hall call there. If it was against an opponent that Tom just would know is never going to bluff raise that spot, I think we would have seen him fold pretty promptly. But dynamics obviously been set between these two players, either throughout the year or throughout the day. I'm guessing Tom must have played with him a little bit to have made that decision to be able to call there with the 10-8.
Yeah, the player dynamics probably have something to do with it if they haven't been colliding before.
And the other thing to take into account here, guys, as well, Tom caps himself a little bit on the turn. Once Tom checks back turn against Zongming's stack size, he's going to go bet to get Zongming all in on the river with 2 pair plus on the turn. So if Tom really delves into it and thinks about that, once he checks back turn, it looks like at best he can have a 1 pair hand. And if he really delved into it and thought Zong knows that, Zong knows once he checks back the turn, the best he's going to have a lot of the time with stack sizes is 1 pair, then he can potentially go for the raise and fold out all those 1 pair holdings. But Tom rivering the 2 pair, maybe just a bit too high up range, the way the hand's played, like that's the best hand that we're going to get to the river with there probably, as Tom Hall. Like the 10-8 is probably one of the best hands we're going to have, the way the hand's played in that particular scenario. Sometimes we may have a nut flush that's opted to get tricky and check back turn, but most of the time that 10-8 on the river going to be one of the best hands we're going to have in that spot. So that may have been a deciding factor as well, but it's a good poker hand. I like stuff like that, and credit to both players.
Buying for the event is £12.50. Estimated prize pool of £500,000. I think the final numbers are in for the side event. 136 have played the main, and 171 have played the side event, and the guarantee was £6,250, which is 5 seats, and it's collected £21,375
For a satellite?
For a satellite.
You can make that tournament in itself with that prize pool tower. So Ryan pays it off with the ace-10. Sorry guys, didn't really catch too much of the action on that hand. It was only a small pot, but...
So that looks like 17 seats.
Yeah, I'm guessing Stato opened the queen jack, Ryan defended, queen 10-8 flop. Check perhaps. Maybe even check on the turn, and Stato went 2.8 on the river. And Ryan paid it off with the 10. But unaware of the action there. I got fourth, Scott. Fourth, unfortunately, couldn't take the trophy. But another 5-figure score, which is nice. Another mini main final table, which is nice.
Opening table 16, seat 4.
Yeah, Tower's got me chained to the chair, Scott.
Not getting out. Not at all. You're joking.
So probably going to 3-bet call this off here. Zongming against Drayton's specific stack size here. I'd like to see a 3-bet call with the Ace Jack of Diamonds. But as we can see, Dritan with the Queen 3 not going to be able to do anything but fold.
One thing Jay will be doing is playing some of that. Some of that.
Yeah, we will be flicking
That
a
is
few.
the grand final. We're down there 3 weekends on the trot. We're going to be doing the main event that starts on Thursday the 18th for the 4-day live stream as normal. We then walk home, come back down again on the Thursday for the setup again. Then we're going to be live streaming Cash Game on the Friday, the NPL League playoff on the Saturday, which we can't wait because there'll be packages given out and plenty of them. Looks like about 14, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a lot.
And then on the Sunday, the final of the Midi. And then, when it comes to that bit, yet again, we have got more of this guy. We're playing the PLO. He might flick it into the high roller when he wins the PLO. And then we're going to be doing Wednesday, which is...
I'd love to play the high roller tab. I can't because we've got the David Hay on the Wednesday.
The David Hay event
so
on Wednesday.
If I make day 2, unfortunately...
Yeah. And then Wednesday it turns into Thursday, and then it's the grand final 2K buying there. Plenty going on over there, and plenty going on at the feet still here in Blackpool.
Yeah, and plenty going on this hand as well because Stato opening under the gun, Ace 10 suited, and Zongming comes in with a 2x raise with the Kings to 3.6 and getting this price. I don't see how we can fold here as Stato with the Ace 10 suited. Going to make the call, take some flops, nice hand, good playability. We are out of position, but getting that price, not going to be folding this one.
That's dry. 274.
So lovely board for the Kings of Zongming. Going to be continuing here. Don't need to go large on this particular board. I'd actually like to see a fairly small sizing from him, but he opts for 5k into 9, so around 60%, bit less than that. Gets the job done. Stato not going to come in for a float. So Tom with the King Jack going to open to 1.7, and Drayton here with the Ace 10 versus this specific opponent could definitely shove this. I think we'd see him fold Ace 9, Ace Jack would be in. This is right on the line, but I think it's good enough versus Tom Hall. Obviously we are early position, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Drayton take this shove spot. But opts to 3-bet off of his 20 bigs to 4.2. So 3-bets for around 25% of his stack. I doubt he's 3-betting to fold, but same effect, gets the same result as a shove would have. Drayton now back up to starting 25 big blinds.
Unlucky, mate. Said you wanted that spin, didn't you?
Yeah, well, spin my
Ace-2 for Majid on the button. We'll raise this up once folded to us. Wouldn't be raising all Ace-X once folded to you on the button. Stato here, Ace-9 off.
Stato.
Incoming free bet perhaps tower. We're just going to opt to make the call instead. Definitely can incorporate a free bet in with this hand versus button open. It can't always free bet it. So Stato just going to be flatting this particular scenario and taking a flop.
8-4-3, 2 hearts.
So Majid got a nice continue on this board. We got a wheel draw, we got backdoor heart draw, so we can line up some double barrels on heart turns. As well as that, 8-4-3. Like Stato, small blind calling range, you'll have some suited connectors, a lot of Broadway holdings that we can fold out here. They're going to still have decent equity against our hand. But Stato going to call once versus button opening range. Simple reason, because we can be ahead still. There's so many hands Majid's going to open on the button, all the Broadways, some suited connectors in there as well. 7 of spades on the turn. So with the check. Interesting spot here from Majid. There's a quick look at Stato's stack. What's he trying to fold out with a double barrel? Some better ace highs that didn't elect a free bet. Maybe some 5s and 6s in there. As well as some floats, like maybe a king, queen, king, 10 of diamonds type holding. Majid comes in for a second barrel and Stato just gets out of the way now, and nice pressure there from the man in C8.
Dave Preston's finally home. All good, Dave. Glad you got home safe and sound. Connor, 130 bigs at this moment in time. Penultimate level of the evening. Blinds will be up in 2 or 3 minutes' time for the final level. £21,375 collected in the satellite. No payout structure as such. It's about 17 seats.
So Ryan opening the ace-8 under the gun +2. And Mr. Nixon hasn't even got involved since the first hand. He's been pretty card dead, gets collared by Ryan and then just gets dealt trash for the next hour. He's just got to sit there. It
All
can
on
be
tight.
it can be a cruel game, it can be. There's the flop rolls off, King, Jack, 10, Rainbow. So both players flopping gut shot. Ryan to Broadway, Tom to the King high straight, and Ryan versus big blind range here going to come in for a continue and snap fold from Tom Hall.
Heading towards the final level of the session and the final level of the day. 136 in the main, expecting close to 300 tomorrow. The place will be rammed. Live stream starting at 12:30 tomorrow, at full 12 hours on the stream.
So as I just say that, I talked it in for him. Finds a hand on the button.
Moaned in, he's not had hand, What's he got, 8?
Oh, and it's going to be going in tower. This is going to be all in, and we're off to the races because we are working. Well, Dritan playing 22 big, so this is just always going to be going in, whether he just shoves or free bet and juices.
Yeah.
Jamie has to call off with the 8s, and they are off to the races. Jamie with pocket 8s, Dryden with the ace king. This is some table tower. I'm just looking at it. Jamie, Tom Hall, like, oh, there's a set.
Just about dead to drawing any tens about. Nope.
That is that.
That is it.
So we're going to lose Dryden from the table. Oh,
Just
too
rubs.
bad. What can you do? But I was just saying, we got Jamie on here, we got Tom Hall, we had Dryden, Zongming who plays well, Ryan, Connor, and then Edinburgh winner and Stato.
Yeah.
Right. It's Sunfield, tell you that.
Lines up. Dina announces the final level of the day.
Where's the dead money going? Can we go there?
That is it. One more level to go. Lines up. 500, 1,000, 1,000 big.
So G with the King 9 suited opens to 2.3. Zongming here, easy defend with this particular holding. Jeed has been fairly active, but I think this is just fine to flat. If we think the G's opening way too much, maybe can free bet. But I think we want to lean more on the side of flatting, and there they are. They're out. At least we got offered some.
We actually got offered and we all refused, which is a first. And they all
over the table.
There you go. Fill your boots. Nice touch. Bit of tub of ice cream.
So Majid definitely could check this one after opening King 9 suited. Definitely a hand we can incorporate a check in with. Middle pair, good back doors, but coming in for a bet is fine as well. Queen high, rainbow board, going to have lots of bets on this one. So Majid comes in for the continue, but Zongming not going anywhere after flopping top pair, top kicker. And now Majid firing again, Tower. Surprised to see this, unless he goes fairly small. It looks like 5.1, so maybe firing so he can check back the river.
Queen on the river. Queen of diamonds. Goes check, check. Zongming's ace will play. Last level of the day. 136 playing the main. 171 playing the side event, which is the satellite.
Chelsea fan, every player gets the option to remain anonymous when you are on our featured table, though, because it is part of the tournament, the live stream. There's nothing you can do about it, but you can remain anonymous if you choose to, if you don't want to sign the GDPR.
See who gets brain freeze first. Indeed.
So the thing is here, it's interesting dynamic because Majid's been opening a hell of a lot of her hands, Tower, and I know we can see he hasn't been getting too out of line, but if he is aware of that, maybe he thinks this table's starting to play back at him. He's at a very good table. If they start thinking he is opening too much, they are going to incorporate in some lighter free bets. But Jamie does actually have the goods here in the form of the ladies. Can't see him folding this particular hand, getting this price. We are out of position, but Jack-10 suit is just a dreamy hand. Fine to pill. And you know what? I actually was going to mention this option. I was going to say we might even see him come in for the 4-bet. We've seen him 4-bet bluff once already, and he could be thinking the dynamic that's been happening at the table, that, you know what, Jamie knows I've been opening a lot of hands. Jamie's a good player. Jamie can incorporate some light 3-bets in, so we're going to stick it right back up in here, and comes in for the 4-bet with the Jack-10 suited. The only thing I will say about this particular size from Majid is, like, we've gone really big here. So Jamie shoves. What we're doing? We're literally we'd be getting such a great price that we might have to call off with Jack-10 suited. But now what's the play from Majid? I think against, if Jamie had 70-80k, I'd like the 4-bet. I'd like it a lot. But I think he was just getting, what was he getting there? 22 to win 69. So he's getting like 3.3 to 1 on a call there. All in pre, getting that price, but just opted to snap fold. Jamie, he 4-bet to 40k. Jamie only had 36 back, right? I'm pretty sure he did. But that's the only thing. Be aware of stack sizes. Don't get me wrong. I like the 4-bet. But I like it a lot more if Jamie's got the same sort of stack as us, because then we can just comfortably fold. We folded anyway, to be fair to him, but obviously coming in for the 4-bet bluff, which you don't see too often. We've seen him do it twice today though, so Majid more than capable. But I just think against Jamie's specific stack size there, maybe just pill, take a flop, because we're in a, like when he's got 36k and we 4-bet to 20k, and Jamie rips it, like that price we're getting is so nice with Jack-10 suited.
Six, 2, 4, 2 hearts.
So whiff for both players. Connor coming in for a continue here for 2,500. Just quick fold from Ryan. No need to get sticky. Out of position.
One of two things was going to happen. You're extremely jealous, which is funny, or maybe do that. Win-win. Win-win would be either I get a nice free or I get a nice free, but I'm doing win-win. I'm sure there's plenty there.
For the final session of the day.
Well,
Takes
Jamie,
you to the final level, and Jamie, since you said he's been carded forever,
he's just gone
had the
eights.
lot.
He's just gone eights, queens, all the ladies. I hope you're not listening, Ellie. Back-to-back ladies for Jamie. Must be nice.
He gets a raise from Tom Hall with the Queen 10.
And he's been 4-bet on with queens, and now he's just been 3-bet with queens. I've talked to him for him. If he watches this back, he goes, I've got to be in on 10, ain't I, Tower? In on a 10 ball, 10%. I talked it in.
This could be a jam again.
Yeah, it's 30 bigs effective, Tower. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, 29 bigs if you really want to. And Jamie moves all in. It's going to be a quick fold from Tom Hall with the Queen 10. Back-to-back ladies. Must be nice.
Sheet open, 11-4 was the shout. Yeah.
So all the hands are out. 10s here for Majid in the small versus button open. Going to be leaning much more towards 3-bet here. Only times I may incorporate a flat in if Stato's short enough to take some light shove spots, but I like the decision just to come in for the 3-bet here from Majid. Makes it 8.5. Big fan of the size as well, just sub 4x, but not going to get any action from either 8-7 off from the big blind or the opener Connor.
I lost the big one.
Once again, any players for the new 2-5 yellow?
So a great session. As always, the final 30-30s right there. Leeds, Luton, Bolton and Edinburgh. T-Boy's gone for couple 2. The final points for the MPL this year. Leeds, Luton, Bolton, Edinburgh next week. Make sure you play if you're trying to get in the playoff spots. Check where you are in the league. You need a few points. You might see in one of those 4 places. Jay's playing Luton. He's definitely playing Luton next week in the 30-30 at Leeds, Luton, Bolton and Edinburgh. And plenty more news regarding next season will be on its way tomorrow. Plenty of exciting news regarding 25-25s, regarding deep stacks, regarding the schedule for 2022 GUKPTs. Ace-7 deuce flop, Jamie top 2. Tom's coming in for a bet. Oh, sorry, a better 1K than Jamie Nicole with the deuce. 60 diamonds on the turn. Jamie should bet again. And Tom is going to flick it in and get out of the way. Which he does. So the final level, well underway. 136 was the turnout. 171 in the satellite, which we worked out at around 17 seats.
Additional bids remaining in the satellite. Please make your way back to the podium now. You have 1 minute remaining on your break. That's 1 minute remaining on your break.
171. They're down to 73. Nobody shouted, "I've won a seat" yet. £21,375 collected.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
In a satellite.
So Stato, King 10 of spades for him. He's going to make the call in position on the opener Connor. And Zongming should be defending this one, just under 6-1 on the call. We're connected, we're in the big blind, we're closing the action.
Ace, King, 3, 2 clubs.
So this probably is going to check through a lot of the time tower. I think both Stato and Connor have got good hands to check on this particular board, and that's exactly what happens. So Queen of Hearts on the turn. Now we might see Connor come in for a delayed continue on this particular turn card. It's definitely another check spot as well. We could incorporate a check again, which I definitely wouldn't mind, thinking about Stato's range behind us, and he has checked, and Stato's going to do the same. And if this is a brick river, which it is, Stato's going to have to pay this one off. If I'm Connor here now, I've got the green light to come in for some value here with my King Jack once Zongming checks. And I don't even go big, probably like 2.53k, but opts to check again. And Stato now may even go thin himself, but good check from him. Maybe and the King Jack of Connor is the best hand.
$500, 1,000, 1k, big blind ante, last level of the night. About 45 minutes to go until the end of the session.
Mr. Please, Gary Stephen Smith for 1-3, table 8. That's Gary Stephen Smith. Make your way to table 8 for 1-3 only.
So Zongming calls a small, and then we have a raise from Ryan.
Yeah, fine with Queen 10. It's blind on blind, ranges really wide. Queen 10 will be the best hand. Most of the time it's above the average. Queen 7.
Ryan's saying, why didn't you raise in the first place? If you call him, you raise. Oh, nice flop for ace 9 of clubs.
Very nice. Check, check on the flop. 6 of diamonds on the turn. Quick bet from Zong. And
He'd already got the chips in his hand before the turn was dealt. Flop ace 10-2.
so Connor going to take this one with a 10-4. Ace of Jamie, no good.
Thank you. Big congratulations to Jay, another deep run and amazing results.
Cheers, mate.
Top stuff. Another great run.
She had 10%, believe it or not.
Did you?
Yep.
Brilliant.
She had 10 ball.
Awesome. So that means she got 90 of it then.
Yeah, I'll make you right, Tower.
Hey, I might start buying 10%.
Don't sell, only
I know, we know you don't.
Not to Tower anyway, you'll block me.
Absolutely.
I'll see now this man runs.
In the main event, once you finish the hand you're on, please board the
Aces for Connor. Stato going to be calling. Raised it on the 1+1.
I just limped here, Stato, off of this stack size, yeah. So I limped off of 24 bigs. And Connor with the boots. So Stato going to make the call. Won't want to catch a piece though, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Unless he catches a big piece. That's none of it.
Yeah, that's not going to
That's
get
hand over.
in any trouble at all. Yeah, same with mine, Eggy.
Gary Stephen Smith, final call. Make your way to table 8 for a 1-3 hold'em. That's final call for Gary Stephen Smith to table 8 in the red room.
How many hot hands are doing here? 5.
Alright. Half an hour to go tonight, and then the clock will be paused. And then they'll tell us exactly how many hands are dealt, 4, 5 or 6. And then back tomorrow for more of the same, a full 12 hours on the live stream. Eight, 9, 10 on the flop.
So
Both catch a piece.
Yeah, top pair, top kick up for Majid and Zongming with middle pair. Going to come in for a bet here with the King 9, bet of 25. Majid going to make the call. Not going to be going anywhere. Both players pick up flush draws. This should almost always go check, check. I think Majid sometimes will lead this turn as a bluff, but we're just too high up our range here with the top pair, top kicker. Start leading. We've also got a straight flush draw to go with it. And if we're Zongming here with second pair, second nut flush draw ourselves, should have a pretty easy check. Got to be wary as well of Majid's big blind range. Going to be 7x heavy, so like the decision for him just to check behind and boom, chop it up on the 7 on the end.
Delightful. Seen that a few times today.
Yeah, and if this is checked to us as Zongming, I'd love to see a bomb tower. I'd love to see a bomb here, but no, he's just. These spots I really like it when the board's like run out a straight or a flush and you've got position, your opponent checks it over to you. I'm a big fan of bombing it. Just almost always get the fold. Not many people ever call for a chop.
For Michael Brown on dealer's choice. That's Michael Brown, seat on DC.
Michael Brown. The old Spurs player.
He used to play football for Sheffield United.
And Spurs.
Afternoon, Harry. Evening, Harry. Interviewed Doyle Brunson at the Irish Open back in 2009. He didn't understand a word I said. Not a clue.
Texas Dolly.
Not a clue. He apologised for not understanding, so we had to repeat every question.
There's a Tom working with 20 bigs, just wants to open the pocket eights, start getting some value from some big blind defends.
Eggy, yes it is. Done the circuit for the whole of the season as Madge.
And Stato getting 4.5 to 1 in his money. Not going to be folding a suited queen here, Tower. Going to flick in the call, see if he can catch a good enough piece to go with. Him and Tom have actually identical stacks here, so if the chips go in, we'll be losing one of them.
There's 10-4.
It won't be going in on any board like this though. And in terms of range, still expect Tom to be c-betting this one higher frequency. Yes, there's 2 overcard star rates, but from a perceived range perspective, this is just going to hit us a lot more than it does Stato defending the big blind. So here's the continuation. Do not need to go too large. Just gets a quick fold from the Queen 6. Not much we can do there as Stato.
Collected in the satellite, 21,375. 171 players.
This time Connacht up the 8s. Opening the hijack, and there should be a shove here from Stato Tower, and Connor will make the call. So we're going to be off to the races back end of the day. Hey, he doesn't shove Stato.
He's raised it up.
Ah, he's left himself 1 chip behind. Okay, that makes sense. I thought he just flatted, and I'll be sitting all in, and a call, and off we go. It was always going to get in. Didn't expect there to be a 4-bet, but it's in. And who flips best?
Who
Connor.
flips best? Flick it up in the air. Bring that coin down.
Well, Stato flops the best of it. There are some okay runners for the 8s. Diamonds are covered. Oh, we'll just find the 8 on the turn, and that sends Stato packing. Oh.
What's it like, this game?
It's horrible, Tower.
The dealers do it all the time.
Them flip situations when you get there on the flop, you think I'm home and O's, and then they just pick the 2 out on the turn or whatever. It's
Well,
a
just say, well, the
brutal
best
game.
hand won pre-flop. That's not the game. You hit that flop and you're 90% favourite. Unbelievable.
The snowmen have been out in force today. Probably has something to do with the weather up here in Blackpool. It's been that. God.
I walked to work in shorts this morning.
Be careful. We got a shark here. We got Big Johnny the shark. Big Johnny's got it. Big Johnny's gonna give me protection. If you guys are Big Johnny, he's gonna give you protection. Hey, be careful. You got Big Johnny, he's gonna give you protection. Good with that. Dirty, filthy nuts.
You're not allowed to watch.
No, he's not. He's not.
Oh, no. He's winning. Oh, yeah.
Hey. So the last half an hour of this amazing day 1A, 136 for day 1A. I've worked out 17 seats in the satellite. Is that what it is? 17 seats in the satellite. Anybody want to tell me they don't work? $17 in Ireland when you left, it's 1 degree in Ray Green. It has turned a bit nippy apparently. But they were predicting a snow bomb in October which never materialised, so... That never came, but yeah, it has turned. If you are on the way to Blackpool tomorrow, wear some long trousers. Jay has.
See the coat. Oh, they have already on the cab.
Final call, Michael Brown for the single dealer's choice. Final call.
Footballers still not playing poker. 8 cash tables going. Satellite going on. Main event going on. Buzzing card room. Superb. Just under 30 minutes to go. Been a great day. Plenty of news coming over the weekend regarding the 25-25s this year. As 4 25-25s have been announced for December. There's full schedule. Dates will be released. The dates for the 2022 GUKPT will be released probably tomorrow. It incorporates the deep stacks. We've got all sorts going on. 25-25s to 2022. The deep stacks. The new G400s, which replaced the 3030s. Nice slot for Tom when you can do it. You call on the button with King 9 suited, and it comes 10.99. Connor leads out after initial raise under the gun. That's 2.5. Should just be a call. I think it's a call to jump. Six of diamonds on the turn.
Wow, what slot for Tom?
Yeah. A bet of 5. So this should... Are we expecting a jam?
Probably tower at this point. Tom flatten here will be working with about 0.4 SPR, so there are some action killers on the river. Maybe he just wants to keep his wide range, still have some heart draws in there.
3 of diamonds on the river.
And the thing is, if we're Connor here, I'll probably just rip the jacks after Tom just flats here, because we're not folding anyway if we check call and
yeah, it's a score, noses behind. Tom gets a full double. Harry, before the stream goes off, if the tour stop's been announced, have been announced tomorrow. Any chance of the UK SPC returning? There's still seats being advertised behind the feature, but no not on it. Obviously the backdrops will be revised for next year, and obviously down the rail of the feature as well. But unfortunately, the UKSBC will not be back next year. It's not definitely gone forever. I'm sure Jim and the team and Tom will have a think about what will happen with the UKSBC. But no plans for 2022 regarding the UKSBC. Whether it returns in future, hoping it does. We've had some great events at the UKSBC. But the deep stacks will be back next year, as well as the 25-25s as well. But unfortunately the UKSBC not returning in 2022, but you never know for the future, because there were super events, and a lot of guys like yourself have played the circuit and can certainly hold your own. There's a lot of players that have played the followed on straight to play the GUKPTs, 25-25s, 30-30s.
It's Ryan coming in with a free bet here, back end of the day. Queen 10 off, facing the button open from Zongming. Makes it 6.8 to go. Just sub 3.5x. Zombie makes the call. Ryan in a dominated spot here. He'll know he's in trouble once he gets called. Can potentially take it down with C-bet when we've got Queen high on this particular board as the aggressor. Around 4 or 5k we can go here, tower. Don't need to go no bigger than that. And does go for 4k, and Zongming pulls out the float with the king queen. The deuce of clubs turn. And a quick count on Ryan's stack here. Ryan's got to think about the hands that he expects Zong to have in this particular spot. Like, there's a lot of hands, like 8s plus are probably just going to get it in here pre-tower, so Ryan's only really worried about traps. I love this. I actually love this. If you really delve into this, for 30, what was it, 30 odd bigs, a bit more, I think it was like 35 bigs effective. Zong's probably just going to rip it in with 8s plus pre. So, or most pocket pairs, in fact, button versus small blind versus Ryan particularly. So Ryan moves all in here for 26k, and Zong can just never call here with king high. We don't even beat some bluffs. If Ryan's got like ace-8 suited and he's gone for it, we don't even beat those type of holdings, and Zong's just not going to be able to call here with the king queen. And Ryan is going to take this down. If he calls here with king high, this is just madness. Absolute madness. But he's really thinking about this here. Zongming eventually gets out of the way, and Ryan gets it through with the queen 10.
So we're heading to the certain number of hands very shortly, about 10 minutes time, 10 to 12 minutes time. There will be a certain number of hands to be played. Pause the clock and away we go. And back tomorrow for more of the same, starting at 12:30 on the stream. $12:30 on the stream. Plenty going on.
Final call, George Chapman, 2-5 Hold'em. Table 6 in the poker room. George Chapman, final call. Thank you.
Three, 3-5 is the flop.
So Majid going to come in for a continue here after opening under the gun. against this side. Can potentially raise his spot here as Chris for a bit of protection with the pocket 8s against this particular opponent. And does come in for a raise. Makes it 7.3. And now Majid got no option but to get out of the way. Oh, Majid just loves it. He loves it. He loves the pain.
Here's the diamonds on the turn.
Well, if we're going to float, this is a great card for us to represent. But Chris is unfazed by this ace and continues barreling here with the pocket 8s. It's a card that should hit Majid more often than us. Majid pulls the float out with the Queen Jack.
So 10 minutes to go until the pause the clock. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, all the way through the evening. Been a super day yet again. The reason for pausing the clock, play a random number of hands, it's so...
Just prevent stalling. Because if there's 15 minutes left on the clock and some people just want to make it to day 2, they'll start tanking 3-4 minutes every hand and every decision just to bag up. So that's the reason for the pause on the clock. Just makes it fair. Everyone knows the number of hands left to play. No unnecessary tanking.
That's why they do it.
It's even worse. Versus early position as well. I have no discipline.
Potential raise spot here for Tom. Or he may just float reps and boards down the line, but I'd like a raise here versus this particular opponent. Saw Chris on the feature earlier. Yeah, this is nice from Tom. This is really nice. Like I speak about these donks a lot. The good players are just going to exploit the hell out of you. And that's exactly what we see from Tom Hall here. And Chris now with the Queen 7 just not going to be able to continue. And he shows him the Queen and Tom comes in with the exploit. And when you are donk leading and you do leave yourself open to getting exploited, especially from the better players with a bit of competency about them. Tom just aware that's the board that's so much better for his range. It's rare that an opponent ever donks 2 pair plus, so we can just go to town on that 1 pair cap range a lot of the time, and that's exactly what Tom was planning to do. I think we would have seen him continue the story if he was called, but a nice raise from him then, takes it down with the worst of it.
Full chip counts coming up at the end of the night. Now the minute players left. 17 seats in the cash out satellite. We didn't hear any cheers and goings on. I would have been upset that we hadn't heard any. I'm guessing people have won the seats already. They have to have. They have to have.
Christopher Cox, seat on 2-5 holder. Christopher Cox, seat table 6 in the cloak room. Thank you.
I think the atmosphere here is fucking a local crowd. Really love it. No, honestly, it brings back games are the best. Touch games are the best. I'm not familiar with the guys, so I just feel like it's quite a close-knit community, and they always come out for this event. Everyone just getting drunk. Just having a good time. It's always about 2 sides.
It shouldn't be long before the clock's paused, and we will play the
Yep.
Final number of
I
hands.
think it's about 6 minutes. Looking at my watch. About 6 minutes.
So Zongming opening under the gun. Connor just flats the sixes. Ace 5-5. 2 spades the flop. So Zongming flopping 2 pair. And I like it. I always say you can incorporate some checks in on these pair boards when you've got an ace pair. It's just one of them situations where you're either well in front or well behind. But as you can see here from the equity, lion's share for Zongming. And the thing is as well, deceptive as well. We can induce some bluffs from opponents. A lot of good things can happen.
Cheers, Eggy.
Cheers, Eggy.
Always enjoy bringing the GUKPTs and the live streams. We are here, we're still smiling. We are there, we're still smiling. We are still smiling. Certain number of hands will be announced very shortly, but it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. No, I thought Dina was going to be announced a certain number of hands, but not yet. But yes, always thanks to you guys in the chat. Keep us entertained, always asking the questions. We always answer them whenever we can. If there's questions we can't answer, we just ignore them.
Ignore them.
But we do our best, and we've got plenty of news coming up for the weekend as well regarding the 25-25s this year. Dates released for the GUKPTs, the new G400s, Goliaths coming up, obviously all the schedules as well. So plenty going on regarding all the schedules, and London's on its way, full schedule release for London. We've been showing you for the last couple of weeks. There's all sorts going on.
Blind on blind, Tom going to complete with a Jack-6 and a raise from Andrew. And he's going to take that one down. Are we there yet, Tower? Number of hands? No.
Dina has not announced it. I'm not happy with Dina.
What we got? 8 minutes left on the clock.
Well,
7 minutes left. Oh no, came back from break at half past, didn't we?
We did.
12 minutes left on the clock.
We did indeed. We'll get there in the end.
We hope. And don't forget tomorrow, back in from the live stream, 12:30 when it kicks off in the club. If you're coming to play, 12 o'clock start for day 1B. It's going to be a busy one.
It is indeed.
Should let you all know it's going to be a busy day tomorrow.
Who we're going to see walk through them doors?
Everyone.
It'll be like stars in their eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, for one night only. There's more than that watching, John. That's just on YouTube. Don't forget we're on Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. We get everywhere.
And the GUKPT website as well.
Yep.
4 different platforms to watch.
Well, we're trying to guess, sorry. We're trying to keep it under wraps. But obviously no, there's no snakes on you. 119 bigs for Connor, looking good for making a decent top 20 stack in the GUKPT day 2. Don't forget there's day 1B tomorrow at 12, day 1C at 9, which is the turbo. Finishes round about 1 AM, and then day 2 buy-ins as well.
So Anthony just come to the table. Going to open the Jack 10 and action on Tom Hall here. I was about to say, what are you thinking about, Tom, with the 5-3 off? He hadn't even looked at his cards. He was daydreaming.
Is it me? Yeah, it's late.
Andrew comes in with the 3-bet to 8k, makes it full 4x. Maybe a little bit too large, but maybe doesn't want to go heads up against Anthony. I'm not sure on the choice of size. I'm guessing he'll have his reasons for it. This man did. You see, it's on there as well. Eh? Read that, Tower. I think you deserve a pay rise as well. G400.
Ah, Dina's dulcet tones. Wow, it's 5 more hands.
Crazy.
Can't believe it. Harry. Seen in the past. Can't believe it. Harry. So 5 hands after this one. 5 hands, ladies and gentlemen. 5 hands after this one.
That's why it's no
10, King 10. Anthony, no betting. Didn't want to win any money. No chips in the middle. No value bet. Nothing. Last 5, ladies and gents. Last 5. How many hands are going to collide in the last 5 hands? This is 1 of 5.
No, I know you don't. I know you're not malicious. Considering where I was on the street.
Well, this is 1 of 5. Here's 6 for Jamie, who had all the hands after you said he'd enter, didn't he?
Yeah. And then he
Obi
slowed down
texted him and said that his look, his little bit of luck on the table was down to you.
Yeah, half hour in the future. Zongling with the jacks, Jamie with the A6 suited. And that's a above average flop for the jacks, flopping the nuts.
Nice. That'll do nicely. Check, bet, fold. Don't mind a check, to be fair. But Zongling is not doing one of them. 1 of 5 is down.
Four to go.
4 to go. So this will be 2 of 5. Manage gets rid of the King 10, folded all the way around in turn.
Zong probably going to open this one tower. Ace in the cut-off once folded to us.
No,
No.
decides against it.
No blind on blind. Connor going to complete with the 8-3, and Chris going to check his option with the Jack 3. 4 hands left to go. And we will have the end of day roundup as well, guys, as always, so stay tuned for that. And love this from Connor. It's a very reggy play. You see it a lot from a lot of the regulars on the tour. Blind on blind, complete the small, lead on whiffs for us. Just aware that it's harder for our opponent to connect than miss. And gets it through with the 8-3. Shows him it. Says, I got ya.
The 8-3. What did you have? Yeah, Jack. Oh well, 50. 3 of 5 on its way. Oi. Kevin backstage on Facebook. Shout out to Glenn. Glenn Hunt. I think Glenn used to work at the Grosvenor. All right, Glenn, how you doing? All right, Glenn. All things are good.
Could the following players please make their way to the poker room?
Still calling the cash games out. 12:30 in the morning, new table opening.
On a Thursday night.
On a Thursday night,
School
9
night.
cash tables.
Jessica Pilkington, Donna Jalam and Gail Watson. That's Gail Watson, John Jalam, Jessica Pilkington, Wendy Watson, Nathan Watson, the schoolman, John Woods, Kerry O'Connor and Susanna Collins.
Kevin O'Connor? Not Katie's dad.
That can't be,
No
can it?
way. They made it straight up and they've gone straight to the cash. Oh, we're checking that when we
Yeah, I
finish.
think we both will. Surprised if they were here, Katie would have come and said hello, surely.
It does like Blackpool.
Oh, it could be then.
Could be.
Could be. Yeah, we got
Kevin Sue might have turned up.
We got 2 hands left.
Kev doesn't play tournaments, he likes a bit of cash, does a wandering in 10 minutes and then leaves. Like to the bar. That's what he normally does. Thought you were playing cash? Well, I did.
It's 2 hands to go, and then that will be it for the day. So Andrew wants to open this one, makes it 3,000, coming with a 3x. And Majid
Same hand.
with the King Queen.
Yeah.
Well, when Majid takes his chips back, a lot of the time we've seen a 3-bet, but this time it's just going to be a call, and Anthony with a 6-3 gets out of the way, so much ado about nothing here. If we do get to showdown, we'll end up in a chop, almost always, and it will now if we do get there. But going to be favourite to take this pot is Andrew. Jack high, rainbow. Got good removal as well with King Queen on this board. King Jack and Queen Jack less likely, which are part of the small blinds range. So let's see a continue from him. Bet of 2.5. And Majid, from what I've seen from him, he's very, he can be very sticky. So he is going to float out of position with King High.
I'm not folding.
Doesn't like folding. Very difficult to play against, and this is a great double barrel candidate for us here, Tower, with the King Queen. I'd love to see Andrew take it. Like, we can target 6s through 9s here, like try and fold out these holdings. We still got the removal to the Jack X combos, and this is really nice from Andrew, just understanding how much better this ace is going to be for our range than it is our opponents. And Majid gonna have to get out of the way here. Be a pretty big mistake to call, I think. I know we can see it'd be chopping, but just going to have to let this one go as Majid, unless he wants to go for the shove. But one thing we just can't do is call, and he is going to go for the shove. I don't mind this. I don't mind this.
Oi, oi.
I said we can't
We're
call.
going to be quiet, we can't
I
call.
said we
can
can't call.
Not at all.
So he goes for the other option. He comes in for the rip with the King Queen equity to the nuts. The only thing is, a lot of the time, Andrew is just going to snap us off with an ace-x hand. Ace Queen, Ace King, Ace 10, all part of Andrew's range. But Andrew not going to be able to do much but let this one go with just King High, and that's going to take us to the last hand. And Majid,
amazing,
with the King Queen, takes the hat off. Hats off to him.
depends on how you play the game. I go in my gut and my knees don't mean fuck all. If I'm wrong, then you're buying up, can't all 12.50 into the pot.
Raising it pretty far.
It doesn't mean anything. So somebody can three barrel something doesn't mean they've got it. Was I correct?
One hand to go.
Is this the last hand?
It is the last hand.
Is this the last hand? We're on telly. We're on telly. Come on. Last hand. I can't see.
I can't see that either, Tam. We'll come back on telly in a second. We need to get the smaller comms cam on for tomorrow at some point.
I can't see that. I need to go. We don't have glasses at all for it.
It's not been there all day, to be fair, on the old stream deck. Chris raising the ace-8 in the cut-off.
Aye. Smile.
Oh, there we go. God, I didn't even see. There we are.
Smile, we're on telly.
So Chris makes it 2.5. Majid going to get out of the way. And Jamie going to have to do the same. And that will be that, guys. Jamie not defending the 10 deuce. And let's have a look at what's been going on.
Aye, somebody's been skiing.
On some of the outsiders.
Has he been snowing outside? Where's he? I hope we're not getting weather he's expecting. Jesus Christ, man. Look at him. Whoa, where Franz Klammer? Get out of the way.
What'd you call him?
Oh, it's all right. Ask your dad.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, my days.
Oh, there's the chip counts for the day. Oh, God.
Well, he's definitely been skiing. He's
crack me
snowing
up.
outside. Let him get outside. There'll be full of snow outside.
Oh,
David Thomas, 223,000. Phil Clark, 193. Raggy, 178. Alan Carr, really? On 156. Stu McNally on 149. You want to sound like him when you heard him at the bar. Jeez, 149,000. Another great day. Look at all the chip stacks there. There's some stacks building up. We've got Mitch Johnson, Mitch Speck. We've got Chris Johnson. Macapac made it to day 2. Parra's made it as well. Local lad Chris Parra on 26.4. We're off to buy some wellies because it looks like it's been snowing outside. There's a foot obviously being put down in London, in Blackpool, looking at that. A great day. Thanks to this lad as always because it's been absolute pleasure. He's back. He's not going to be here ever again. There are all the chip counts. They'll be up on social media overnight as well. Back again tomorrow from 12:30 for a full 12 hours on the live stream. We're off to ski home. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.